What is that? Is that a camshaft, lifter trays, and associated parts? Why, yes. Well, yes, it is. Good morning, YouTube. That stuff's for the Avalanche. We're changing the combo up a little bit, even though I haven't been driving it. Going into Ferrari today to work on a '69 Chevelle. Yeah, I know, totally makes sense. But first, as always, we're going to Dunkin' Donuts. I'll see you at Ferrari. So in a shop full of spaghetti race cars, be a Buick Grand National. All right, first things first, I've got to move that car outside because way over there is the '69 Chevelle, so I can move that over here and get started on that. Little Monza SP1 action here. Getting retrofitted with whatever emissions equipment it needs. I think it's just a wiring harness so it can be driven legally on the road in the States. The whole engine has to come out of it. Thankfully, I'm not doing this. But here's the Chevelle. So it's a black on black convertible, 396 4-speed car. It's clean, it's a nice driver, it's nothing spectacular, it's not a show, you know, concourse show winner or anything, but it is nice. They just got done ceramic coating it, so I'm gonna close the hood, go and pull it over in my bay. I'm gonna start working on it. And there she is. It is clean for a black car, nice and straight. So they had a couple of issues with it. The brake lights were staying on, that was just the switch itself needed to be adjusted. The brake telltale was staying on the dash. That was the plunger for the pin switch for the emergency brake was broke. So I fixed that. And then he didn't really complain about a drivability issue, but I felt it right off the bat. It turns out it had a dead plug, which you could especially feel during loaded cruising. So we got plugs that I gotta go pick up today. And his main concern was it starts like crap when it's cold, which it does. I just experienced that now pulling it over here, so I've got to check the choke settings on the Holly carb. So other than that, we're going to get started on this thing. All right, got the plugs out. And as you can see, they're not in the greatest of shape, but we've got decently dirty but dry electrodes all the way over until this one, which is suspiciously clean and shiny, as if it's not firing and it's covered in fuel. And I've already verified this. I've moved it around just to make sure, because I wanted to make sure we didn't have a valve seal issue or a valve seat sealing issue. So got some plugs down the street already. I'm just waiting for the store to open, and once they do, maybe I'll take the Grand National down there to go pick them up. Who knows? We'll see what's available. I really don't want to drive my own truck. It's not as fun. But that's where we're heading next. I'm going to pull the air cleaner off, and now I'm going to check the ramp settings on the choke setting, or the choke mechanism. Well, the settings seem to be popping up to where they should be. So I'm wondering if that dead plug was throwing the vacuum off enough to just completely play havoc on this thing. So we're going to get the set of plugs in it first, and then we'll see how it starts and how everything works. Old busted, new goodness. Don't mind the black compared to the silver. It was just a generational change. It's all cosmetic. They're still the same 404 plugs all the way through. So I got to gap all these and throw them into there. plugs are in. Let's see if that cured my hard start or cold start crap running issues. I'll give it a, I don't know if you can see, there's a glare in here. Okay, so we're closed. Neutral, because I don't want to go through my toolbox. And so much better. That's mint. So not only was there a dead plug, I have a feeling some of those other plugs were just giving out the minimum amount of spark they could, because this thing is so much smoother now. Unbelievable. I think I'm going to turn the idle up a little bit though, because it is kind of low. Alright, we're going to go take it for a little ride and see how it feels. Fire's right up. This is a very tight garage right now. Very touchy clutch. Probably pull the e-brake up too. And I gotta adjust that power steering belt when I get back. Don't want to run into the side of the Portofino. Nice when we do our spring cleaning finally, and I can pull these boats out of here without doing a 50-point turn. Wow, night and day already though. I'll wait for this Chrysler minivan to go, because I don't exactly want that imprinted in the side of the Chevelle. Yep, so much better. This thing, it was literally a 7-cylinder car previous to this. Minus whatever weak spark was coming from all those other plugs being just such bad old condition. Rattles. It's a convertible 69 Chevelle. Well, like I said, it's just a good solid driver. It's not a Concours show winner by any means. I'd drive the hell out of this thing. I would actually take this and throw a Roadster shop chassis right underneath it and LS swap it with a 6-speed, but you know, that's just me. But there is something to be said about these big blocks with the Muncie 4-speeds. They are fun to drive. Not a fan, never have been a fan of the mechanical clutches. I mean, I got highly spoiled with hydraulic clutches. When they're tuned in right, they're great. This one is so-so. But you just can't beat a hydraulic. Unbelievable feel, easy pedal effort. But this one, pretty much done. I just got to adjust that power steering belt. Clean the carbon out of it.